Welcome to One Spot Attractions, where we pick one spot at a Disney resort and talk about it.
Come along with us on a thrill ride like Space Mountain.
Or relax with us on a boat ride through Small World.
We will have all your favorites covered.
So bring your faith and trust.
And we will supply the pixie dust.
And we're off to One Spot Attractions. Hello, everyone, and welcome to One Spot Attractions. We are your hosts. My name is Shelly.
And I'm Christy.
And we're going to be taking you into one spot at the Disney park today, but we're also going to be taking care of some goofy gossip, and we will end our episode with some trivia. What's our goofy gossip today, Christy?
So this might be a little bit of old news by the time you guys hear this, because it's been kind of out there now for a couple days now already, but we're going to talk about it anyways. We're going to be talking about the Lightning Lane Premier Pass. Now, this one, it's a touchy subject between Disney fans. Some are for it, some are totally like hardcore against it, and then some are like, it's good, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. And I would have to say I'm like the one that's kind of in between there, because I think that it's going to be great, but it would be great if they changed a few things about it. So we're going to talk about that. But basically what it is, we already have your multi-pass, which is the new, we're going to say the new Fast Pass system.
It's the old Fast Pass. Yeah, old Fast Pass system you now pay for.
Yeah. So we have that system going right now, and it's still going to continue. Like, you can still purchase this. You don't have to, it's not either like, you have to get the Premier Pass or you just stand in a regular line. You still have the multi-pass option, and you still have the single pass option where you also have to pay another, like a separate payment for the e-ticket attraction. So this Premier Pass is, we're going to talk about Disney World first, because they're premiering it at World and at Disneyland, California. So we'll talk World first. So this Premier Pass will be basically based off of your park day, at like which park you're going to and which day you're going to that park. Because if you're going on a busy day, it's going to be at a higher tier. If you're going at a low crowd day, it'll be at the lowest price point, or somewhere in between. So each park has the different price points, which I did not write down. I know them. They're somewhere. But basically, Animal Kingdom's your lowest tier for the payment. Then it's Epcot, Hollywood Studios, and then Magic Kingdom, which I know the price point is starting at $129, and that's at Animal Kingdom, to the highest price point of $449 per person at Magic Kingdom. And that's the high.
That's Christmas
highest
Day. Yeah.
Yeah. And New Year's and all the holidays. Yeah. So, and that's not including taxes, but basically,
it does not include your ticket either. That's in addition to your ticket. So It's not like, oh, well, it's this on top of the ticket. No, you buy the ticket and then you add this fee on top to access the system.
Right. And in order to, at the launch on October 30th, to be able to even get this pass, you have to be staying at a deluxe resort. And this also includes Swan and Dolphin and Shades of Green, at a deluxe villa or a DVC room. So only those people can purchase this at the launch. I'm sure they're going to change that, but as of right now, that's how it's going to be. And I think it's a great pass, because then you don't have to work. Like, what it is once you get this pass, you can't park hop. So it's like
you
that
can,
park
but it
that
won't
day.
follow you. So you're wasting a lot of money.
I mean, I wouldn't park hop if I buy that.
Mm-mm.
But basically, you don't have to make a lightning lane on your phone. You don't have to be on your phone. You don't have to choose a time. You can just show up at that ride and get on, and like go through the lightning lane and get on. So that's like the nice part. You can only ride, like, if you went on Peter Pan and you went through the lightning lane, that's it. You can't go on Peter Pan again. Like if your kid liked it, you gotta go through the standby after that. So but at least you are able to go on every single ride. Like that's including e-ticket attraction rides. So I think that's like a nice perk because then you don't have to hop around the park either. So it's like if you went to Tomorrowland, you can go on Buzz, then you can hop over to Space Mountain. You don't have to bounce all over the place. So that's a nice perk too. But I do think it's super expensive for Magic Kingdom. Like the other parks, like 129 I think is reasonable. Like
Yeah, it's like a
even
double
like
price ticket.
right, but like for a family of 4, including taxes, that's just under $2,000 for a family of 4 for one day
Mhm.
at the highest price point at Magic Kingdom. So that's like on top of your park ticket, on top of hotel, on top of airplane tickets, and it's like, woo.
I look at this and say, I understand why people are upset. And it's not that they're upset that it exists. They're upset because it might price them out. And, that's the marketing part of me, and the business side of me says, yeah, every single capitalist type of program has something like this. If you are flying, you can fly economy and just go wait in the lines at Disney, right? Or you can fly business and get the lightning lane, or you can fly first class. And that's kind of where I see this level coming in. It's like splurging for first class for that experience before you start chartering or having your private plane, which would be your VIPs. So it's kind of filling that gap, where if you really need a special day, this is, I'm sure there are people that can afford to do this at every park on every day of their vacation. They're out there. But for a good 95% of us, or even 99% of us, this is either a really special day or it's nothing you're really going to be dabbling in. And that's that. The human in me says that's how the world works. Universal has had something like this for a long time with their express premier passes, where you can, it's pretty much the same thing, and it's about the same price as Animal Kingdoms. It's nothing we haven't seen. Christmas Day or New Year's Eve on at Magic Kingdom, that's gonna be stiff. But that's also, I guess the nature of the beast of those days is everything goes up in price on those days. So if you're planning on going on a holiday, you're not getting a deal to begin with. So, not on airfare, not on hotel, not on ticket. So
See, I think like they should do like a universal deal because like, the hotels used to have more perks at
they did.
Disney
Mhm.
and now they don't really have any more perks except for the half hour before the park opens. You get to, go in. But like I was just like, why don't they do like I know that they're saying like, oh, Disney has like this many rooms for deluxe while Universal only has this
Yep.
many rooms, like a little bit amount of rooms. But like if
Yeah.
they like gave the perks to okay, you're staying at a deluxe resort, you get a day with the premier pass or something like that,
I
you
think
know?
they are doing that. That's the extended hours. So they
But
are giving you that.
that's like
The
an hour after the park.
Yeah, they are really nice. I did actually get to do those in January, and my daughter and I were at EPCOT, and it was pretty amazing. It
I
was
mean,
like
yeah,
walk
I've
right
done that
on.
too, and it's very nice. But
It is.
I mean,
I think it would be more comparable to if you are staying club. If you are staying as a club level or concierge level, then you would be looking at that because they are not going to want to saturate the park with this at all. And that's why I think they're starting with high, prices. I don't expect those prices to come down, and deluxe resorts to begin with, because they're going to be toying with the number on how does that saturate their lines, because you also have people paying for lightning lane. You have, single line. You still have, yes, I understand there's not as many DAS people anymore, but you do still have disability access going through that line. And it's important, if you're paying for that line, or if you need that line for accessibility and you've already waited your time, that it doesn't get bogged down. That would be a more dangerous marketing plan on their part than limiting it and maybe pricing people out, because there's a lot of people at Disney every day.
true story. And
I look at it as very much like a VIP type status thing. I mean, I never expect to be following a plaid in the parks. That's
right.
never going to be something I'm going to be able to afford. I might save, and this is my Christmas present to me, is the next year I do a day of this. It's priorities. And I think that's the thing, is if it's a priority, you need to set up for it. But I would never put this as an expectation unless you're in that top 2%.
See, and that's what I was talking to my husband about. I was just like, I don't have a problem with it either, because it's
It doesn't,
optional. You don't
it's
have
not,
to do
and
it.
it's not made for us. That's the thing. Like, we're not the clientele that it's been designed for. So.
Right. So I'm like, it's not like I'm gonna sit there and like badmouth them, because it's like that's their thing. Like,
Well, and I think that we need to see how it rolls out. I think it's going to be an invisible perk, kind of like the plaids, the VIP, where it's like 700 or 800 bucks an hour with a minimum of 7 hours, and you see these people walk by and you're looking to see, is it somebody who's a celebrity? How are they affording this? That pass is kind of an incognito way of having that VIP type experience without the guide. So yeah, it's going to be up there in price.
so let's talk Disneyland.
Yeah.
So Disneyland's actually premieres on October 23rd. And theirs is different than how Disney World is going to be. So Disneyland is going to be for people who have a park reservation. So if you have a park reservation, you can get a pass. You don't need to be staying at like the Grand Californian. So you can just have a park pass and you can purchase this pass. And for the rest of 2024, it is priced at $400 per person. But the difference is they only have 2 parks. So this is probably why they did this, is you can park hop and use this over at Disneyland. So you don't have to stay in California Adventure. You can go back and forth and use this pass. So that's very nice and beneficial, I believe, over there, because you can
You
park
walk.
hop.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you can walk across. And I can see why they would do this at Disneyland. LA has a lot of influence, LA, Anaheim. The locals in particular are very protective of their parks. And they are if you've been there as a tourist, you've definitely seen the influx of the locals coming in. They make up a huge share of the patrons every day. The guests that come, it's a good chance they live around there. So they're definitely going to want to cater to those people who are also used to paying higher prices because they live in LA. So
Yeah. Yeah. So
yeah.
that, I would say that's the only difference really between World and Land, is that you can park hop.
Yeah.
and it's for anybody who has a park reservation.
Yep, kind of
So,
catering to the bulk amount of people that attend each resort. Yeah.
right.
Well, I
So,
think it's going to be really interesting to watch and see how this happens, and it'll be under a little bit of a spotlight for a little bit because it's new and interesting. And then I kind of expect it to kind of disappear, and the people that can just throw money at it will just throw money at it, and the rest of us won't even remember it exists. So kind of like plaids.
yeah.
Oh, well, I
So
know that exists. I mean, supposedly there's these magical suites at each hotel too. I've never seen those either. So
I'm like, I only know about the one at the Grand Floridian, and
oh
that's
yeah,
about
no,
it.
they've got suites at pretty much each of the deluxes. Yeah, I've never seen them. I never expect to see those walls. So
Not unless someone's like, "Do you want to tour my wonderful suite?"
we need some really
It's kind
rich
of
friends
weird, but
to see.
sure.
Yeah. Well, let's go into our one spot because I'm super excited about this one today. What are we going to talk about?
Well, we're going to Epcot,
Yay!
and I almost said Epcot Center. But we're going to Epcot. We are going to talk about the iconic Spaceship Earth. It's the
Yay!
very first thing that you can see when you get to the park. It's the very first thing you can see when you're around that area. It's hard to miss this big, and yes, I'm going to use this phrase because this is the phrase
Oh,
that everybody says, it's the big golf ball.
big golf ball. I have seen that from the plane. If we come in based on winds, kind of in a weird area, I would say it's rare for me coming from the north in order to see this because there is airspace restrictions around Disney World. But if you've got a really clear day in Orlando and you are touching down at MCO, you might, depending on which way you're coming in, you might see that. I've never seen the castle from the plane. I'm sure someone has, but I have seen Spaceship Earth a couple times. So,
Yeah, I have a picture from my plane
yeah,
one of the times that I was visiting, probably 2 years ago, actually. Um,
I
that
always
I
look.
have a picture because
I'm
I'm
like a
like,
dog out the
where is
window
it?
looking, like, oh, can I see it?
Right.
So,
So, yeah, but
yeah,
this ride um actually has changed many times, but we're going to talk, well,
it has
I'm going to
to.
just tell you what it is now, but it's still telling us it's we're going back in time, and it's basically telling us the history of communication. It's a dark ride, it's slow,
When
it's
she says dark ride, that means that for you people that may not know that terminology, that's definitely a Disney term. It is a slow moving attraction that they'll dim the lights and spotlight areas for you to see as you go through it. So it's not dark like, ooh, scary. It's dark, meaning they use lighting to show you where your eyes should look as you're riding through it.
yes. So it brings you back in time to caveman area all the way to present. Well, ish, present
Pretty
ish.
close. Yeah. We're ready. Yeah.
um, yeah, so we can start talking about all the stuff inside because I'm like, I could go on
I
totally
know.
explaining what the ride is, but we're going to be talking about everything that's in there anyway. So let's just jump on into it.
Yeah, so with Spaceship Earth, this is the top 5 for me. I have a lot of nostalgia. When I was 6 the first time I went, I have a few memories. I do remember riding this ride with my dad in particular, who's a big history buff and likes that type of educational ride. And so Epcot's our groove in general, like from my 8-year-old son to my 75-year-old dad. Epcot's our groove. Everybody in my family loves it. And so Spaceship Earth is a must do. I have never gone to Disney without going to Epcot and without doing this ride. When you are coming up on it, they've added a lot of technology. And one of the first things to talk about as we're kind of going through it is they take your picture now. This is the 4th redo on it, and they're getting ready for one. They've teased it. They actually had a closing date, and then COVID stopped it, and it seems to be backburnered right now. But at any rate, they take your picture so that by the time you're on the decline at the end, they can use it in a little bit of like a video of you. And it makes me laugh because I have long hair, and my daughter has long hair, and my best friend has long red hair, and it never fails. All of us with like the reddish tinge to our hair, we have like big Swiss cheese holes all over our picture every single time. And I don't know if this is a long hair thing or if it's just more noticeable in those
It's
pictures.
not a long hair thing, because
No.
it just happened to me where my eyes were gone and my mouth
Oh,
was gone and my nose was gone, and I was just like, and my hair was in a ponytail.
oh my gosh.
And I was
Yeah.
just like, this is something out of a horror film. Like, what happened?
Yeah, that technology is it's needing an update really badly, but it's adding to kind of that fun of it. And I do remember when I was little, before they took your picture, and you come up on the first scene with cavemen, and it's like a projection on the wall, and it's kind of almost like a still figure that moves a little bit. And now they've got it as a straight up video. But that room, when you first come into it, it is very epic because it seems massive when you get up to there. And Spaceship Earth itself is rather large, but that one's always awe-inspiring to me. And it's very, very basic technology, but it's just the way that it's played out in that first scene, starting with like, why do we need to communicate? Yeah, because you need to be able to work together to hunt and eat and survive. So communications was the start of the villages, you know.
Yeah, the scene on the screen is them hunting.
I mean, they've been hunting him a long time. They're terrible. They've never gotten him. But
They always feel bad for that mammoth.
yeah, you kind of do. You go through, I think one of my favorite animatronics is in the computer, the very large 1970s computer, when you start talking about digital communication. And they have this animatronic of this woman with this amazing afro, and she's got the most like 1970s clothes, and she's sitting there with a clipboard looking at things, and I love it. I absolutely love this animatronic for two reasons. One, yeah, Black women being represented, yes, thank you. And two, that probably did not happen in the 1970s. So it was probably all men in there. So I like that they are representing a little bit.
She is
Because
supposed to represent a real person, though.
is she really? Who
She
is
is. I didn't get a chance to look it up,
it?
but she is supposed to represent a real person.
Oh, see, now I need to look this up. Or if you're listening and you know the answer, write it below and save me a little bit of time. But that's amazing because she is by far my favorite animatronic in that ride.
Yeah, I know that she represents a real person.
That's so
So
cool.
I didn't get a chance to look it up before we started talking
How
about
cool is
this.
that person? Holy cow.
Yeah, so so yes, she does belong there.
Yeah. Oh my. No, that's huge then. That's even bigger than I thought. I mean, I just thought representation's cool, but there was an actual person representing at that time is even cooler. Wait, way
Yeah,
to go.
so
Yay.
but yeah, so like I love how they added, I'm going back to the beginning here.
Mhm.
Like so after you see them hunting the mammoth, and then you go to the actual like cave where the cavemen live,
Yeah.
and they're telling like their story and showing the communication. They actually make the drawing on the cave wall come to life.
Yes.
Like I love how they add just the little things, and it's like if you're not like fully looking, you're not gonna see that, and you're gonna miss that.
Yes. Yeah, they did when this I remember when they changed this one because growing up I didn't know the original. I was too young, which is weird to say that. I was too young for that one. So I knew the Walter Cronkite version. And then now the Judi Dench one, the Dame Judi Dench narration. And when they changed it over to her and the technology really jumped, I didn't see the jump prior to know if that was a huge jump, but my mind blew when this one reopened. And this, I guess the cool thing, the sad thing, it is so aged right now in 2024 that you're watching this and it's not awe-inspiring. It's neat, but you're like, yep, we knew about that technology. Yeah, I got that in my house. Yeah, because it's so due. Our technology is constantly upgrading every day. This attraction is going to be the most upgraded attraction. Well, it should be in Disney World. I was trying to think if there's any other attraction that would need upgrades as much as this one, and I can't come up with one.
They can't keep up with it because everything keeps changing so fast. Because I remember when I rode it the first time, it was when they were showing people FaceTiming each other, and everybody's doing that now. So they
Yeah,
had to take that out.
you and I
So
are doing that right now.
exactly.
I
So
am talking to you from Wisconsin. You are talking to me from Florida. This is so cool.
right. So it's just crazy. But even the ride itself, like showing like how it started with like paper messages in Egypt and
Oh,
then the
papyrus.
Phoenicians, like if you can read this, thank the Phoenicians. And just like Rome and smelling the Rome fire.
Oh, that's a huge one. I remember now they've changed that a little bit. That used to be the burning of the Library of Alexandria. And so that area, when you come around it, I remember begging my dad. I was young. I wasn't super young, like maybe preteens, to ride it over and over and over again. And it was legit for that one part. I was so like mesmerized by this very, sulfuric burning smell. But if you've been on this ride, you understand it's you used the word iconic before. It is an iconic smell to Spaceship Earth, and for some reason it works and it's almost pleasant during the attraction. So
You can
because
actually like smell it when the air is like coming out of the
the corner there.
walkway when you're about to enter inside to the ride.
Yeah,
It's that strong of a smell, but it's like then like you can smell it there, but then you get on the ride and then it's like gone
yeah, I think
until
the
you're in that
airflow.
area again. So it's weird.
Yeah,
It's a
I
little
think
weird.
that's neat. Of course, when you get to the top, because this for those of you guys that are not familiar, the big golf ball, it is the ride. There is some parts kind of out of that golf ball. It's not 100% in it, but it's a really big share in that golf ball. Otherwise, there's like little wings for it. But when you are at the top of the golf ball, that's when you see like the big moon or the big earth. I guess it's the earth because you're supposed to be kind of on the moon looking at earth. You see earth and you're kind of turning to go back down to your return to earth. uh, I love being up there and just feeling like I'm at the top of Spaceship Earth right now. And I've been going for 35 years, and that has not ceased to just awestruck me. Every single time I get up there, I'm like, oh, this is so cool.
It's like the epic part of it.
It really is.
So it's kind of funny. I like that they updated the animatronics in this ride. And when they updated them, like they added like they used the molds from like other attractions. But
Yeah.
like before they updated these, I remember when I first went on, I was totally terrified of these animatronics.
They were a little
Like
waxy looking.
they were well, we got stuck. Like it stopped. And when we were little, and I'm like, Mom, because they're just like doing like the tiniest movements. And they were like almost dead inside looking. It's
Especially
like
like the Greek theater area.
I think that's probably where I was.
I don't know why, but that's almost a little unnerving there. If you're stuck
Yeah,
there,
so
you're kind of
like
like, hmm.
I'm so happy that they changed that. And yeah, that poor paper boy
Oh
used
yeah.
to actually be facing everybody. But
Yes.
then when they were redoing, um, updating it one of the times, nobody really knows the true reasoning, but the rumor is that his face got busted
And
or
I heard
broken.
fire. And there's all sorts of rumors out there, and Disney has never released because that would be probably a weird thing to release. But yeah, he's now turned around and talking to the people on the street, which works. But yeah, I'd love to see the other side of that face and see what it is.
I posted a little video of him on just the One Spot Attractions videos on
On
YouTube,
YouTube,
and
check
the
in and see
face
it.
was not, I was just like, okay, that's why he's turned around if this is true. Like
Yeah.
his mouth was like all black, like teeth missing, and he's like, eh.
And Disney can fix that. It's just so low on their pyramid of things to do. They're just like, yeah, just turn them around. We
Yeah.
got bigger fish to fry here right now.
Nobody needs to see his face. It's fine.
I know, but I always think about that when I go through that one too and I look at him. This one's got such amazing lines too. Like your ABCs, you can thank a Phoenician for that.
You have just knocked over or Spaceship Earth.
My son has a kitten. Her name is Princess Peach Toadstool, but we just call her Goblin. And now you know why. I just got
like,
gobbled.
Nope.
She's so cute, but she's a lot. Yeah,
Oh,
Spaceship
that
Earth
is
down.
hilarious.
Oh, but there's some good lines. It's so ready for a refurb. Disney, please put it on a speedy, because I really can't have it down for 2 years. That would break my soul. But
Well, it was going to be down for a year, and I think that's reasonable. So
okay.
it's. I mean, I
Who do
love
you
the
think?
ride, but I do think it needs an update. And if it takes a year for an update, then let's do it.
Yep. And I know they're working at Animal Kingdom right now, so it's a little while before they get back to EPCOT, because EPCOT just got a lot of makeover, so it's probably going to be a little bit. But and they've got the other two on the list. Magic Kingdom's got a lot of stuff coming. Hollywood Studios got a lot of stuff coming. Animal Kingdom in the process right now. We got a while before it does it.
See, instead of Big Thunder going down for a refurb for a year, they should do Spaceship Earth.
Yeah, they're about the same age. So, who do you think should narrate the new one? Who would be like a good narrator in 2024?
That's a hard one.
I know.
There was rumors of Tom Hanks.
Oh, I really like that.
And I think he would be a good one.
Yes, he would. And he's a Disney supporter and stuff. I think he's done several of their movies, and so that would be wow. I was also thinking, like, I could kind of see, just with his talent ability, Neil Patrick Harris.
I was thinking him too in my head just now.
Yeah, not in a comedic role, but yeah,
no.
He's kind of more in his theater type.
I mean, you think Disney, you think of Neil Patrick Harris and John Stamos.
Oh yeah, John Stamos, but he's getting a little, I hate to say old, because I'm also getting kind of old. But another one that's kind of up and coming on the Disney, and I should say up and coming. I mean, he's there. Let's be honest. He's a household name. Josh Gad is really popular with Disney. But I don't think this is the attraction for him. Just with kind of, not that he can't do it, because he's a very talented man, but he's kind of got more of the Robin Williams comedic persona for his celebrity than he does the Judi Dench style.
Yeah, I think
I'm actually,
top two would be Tom Hanks and Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah, and when you said Tom Hanks, my original thought was Neil Patrick Harris, but yeah, I guess I would put my vote in for Tom Hanks, just because of the nature of this. But we do need Disney. We need more Neil Patrick Harris at Disney in general. So if you can get on that, that'd be great. So
He's there every year for the candlelight procession. So
I know,
every year you think candlelight procession, and it's like Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah.
because he's there
Josh Nad's there
every
this year.
year. Every year.
They would never do it. But would it be fun to have Jodie Benson?
She's there this year.
I know, but would it be fun to have her as Spaceship Earth? It doesn't at all
Oh,
fit that. I mean, it's obviously it's Ariel, but that's the voice of Ariel for anybody. But she is so supportive, and she's doing the candlelight processional. She's the finale this year.
yes.
She's the last one. And if I would go during that time period, that would be the one I would go to.
Yeah.
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 Well, I've got some trivia for you. It's hard.
Oh no.
Are you ready?
I'm
You'll get a
ready.
couple, and there's no if you get a few of these, I'm going to be so unbelievably impressed. And they're probably going to be more talking points trivia than answering trivia.
Okay.
But I think a couple of them you can work out. So
All right,
this one you might be able to work out. How tall is Spaceship Earth? We've talked before on the height of Tower of Terror and on Expedition Everest. So you know what max is.
Yeah. So we're gonna say 198.
Nope. But you're
It's
not.
199.
No, that's the two other ones. At 200 feet, they have to put plain lights on the top, and it ruins the image. So they stay away from the 200 mark, which is why Tower of Terror is 199, and Expedition Everest is 199.5. This one's at 180.
Oh,
And
so it's smaller.
considering those two's, the other two height, they came so like a couple decades later. So the fact that this one's 180 and opened when it did in 1982, that's pretty impressive, really.
Yeah.
This one I thought was really interesting. You might be able to work this one out because you live down there. Spaceship Earth is designed in a certain way for Florida weather. What can it do?
My camera is.
Yeah, it keeps flipping.
Stop
It's
it,
it's just stay seated for your turnaround to return to Earth here.
right. It has something to do with the rain, so
It
that the
does.
rain does not come underneath the ball.
You are correct. It is a gutter system. So all of those little triangles up there do create a gutter system, and it's going to move the water actually back into the Showcase Lagoon. So that's why there's not all these big pools, and you'll see a lot of people standing underneath Spaceship Earth if it does downpour. It's a good place to be. In general, Epcot's a great place to be if it's raining. But if you are out and it downpours, head to Spaceship Earth if you're close there, or jump in a pavilion.
Also a wind tunnel.
Yes, that it is. It does get very windy under there. Talking about those triangles that are a gutter system, how many triangles make up Spaceship Earth? I'm going to be really impressed if you can pull anything out of this number.
I don't even know if I want to try.
I don't think I would want to try. So I'm just going to give it to you because it's like, oh my gosh. And someone did the math on this, by the way. 11,324.
Oof.
Yeah, that's a lot of triangles.
So. It is a lot of triangles. Yes.
When you go through this attraction, we did talk about the burning of Rome. That is being created by a machine. What is the name of the machine that pumps out that smell?
I don't know. The smelly machine?
It's a smellitzer. The smellitzer. You will see the smellitzers being used throughout Disney. When you're on Main Street, USA, they'll pump up some chocolate chip cookie smell for you. When you're in Figment, you can get a nice little skunk smell. This is the Burning of Rome is probably one of the more, well-known smellitzers around Disney. It is named after the Howlitzer Canyon, which is where it got its name. They put smell instead of howl. The Howlitzer Canyon is like the cannon that shoots puffs of air. And so they shoot puffs of smell is really what it does. And this one, I know you've got because you shared this one, and I think this one's cool as all get out. when you're going through the attraction, you get in the story of communication and you get to the Morse code area. What are they tapping out in Morse code as you go through that?
Walt Disney's opening ceremony speech
Yes, at
at
Disneyland.
Disneyland.
Yep, because he never saw Disney World. But yes, Disneyland's opening speech from Walt Disney, which I think is super cool. I love that they put some of that like Disney Mania type stuff right into the park.
You would never know that though. You would never
No, I
know.
mean,
Unless you
somebody
know
does.
Morse code.
Yeah, I was going to say
Yeah.
someone out there is like, "Oh yeah, I read that. I heard that." And you're cool, by the way. If you are like fluent in Morse code, you are very cool in my world.
Right?
So that's what we've got for your Spaceship Earth one this week. We hope that you get a chance to use that Premier Pass and it's super cool and worth it. And you're like, best money I've ever spent. The next time you're on Spaceship Earth, listen for that Morse code, check out that newsboy, and look up where that lady in the giant computer lab, who that is and where she's from.
Yes.
And yeah, we'll be back next week with a new spot. We'll see you then.
And thanks for sharing the magic.
Bye.
Bye.